All right, it's time for another Murdle. This is the game where we solve a murder mystery, and we've got our grid over here that we can check things off, just like the old Clue game. And the case today is Deductive Logico in the case of the Sagittarius with the selenite wand. I wanted to say silent, but it's a selenite wand. All right, this was the kind of mystery Inspector Iratino would like, thought Deductive Logico. It was nice and spooky. An alchemical assistant had been killed at the Investigation Institute. All right, very nice. Well, let's take a look at our suspects here. We have Principal Applegreen. He's been involved before. Babyface Blue, General Coffee, Secretary Celadon, Officer Copper. Okay. We've got a pair of leather gloves, a crystal dagger, hyperallergenic oil, a crystal ball, and a selenite wand. The impossible hedge maze, the miniature golf course, the Grand Chateau, the observatory, and the Great Tower. And I'm going to click the light bulb to turn on our things over here. Okay. Well, let's jump into it. Look at our clues. Okay. A Sagittarius had the selenite wand. Okay, let's go find out who is Sagittarius. Libra, Aries, Gemini. Okay, General Coffee was the Sagittarius. So General Coffee had the selenite wand, which is the bottom one? Selenite wand. Looks like a ruler. Okay. Oop. Except we got to do the right kind of check. There we go. Check mark, not an X. And then we can X the rest of those. Very nice. Okay, Babyface Blue was seen indoors. Okay, well, the hedge maze, miniature golf course, Grand Chateau, the observatory, and the Great Tower. I would say the last three are probably indoors, but I guess we should see what it says, because it doesn't always match what you might think. Outdoors, outdoors, indoors, indoors, indoors. Okay, just like I thought. So Babyface Blue was indoors, so not those two. Okay. A bald suspect was on the miniature golf course. All right, so who is bald? No hair. So Principal Applegreen and General Coffee. Principal Applegreen and General Coffee. One of those two was on the miniature golf course, so that means that no one else was on the miniature golf course. Okay. We've got our spirit writing. All right, Inspector Iratino sent a message. Okay, so great piece of something. A great piece of something. A great piece of... We've got leather gloves, crystal dagger. It's probably one of the... Was something in a very something spot. Romantic spot. Okay, so a great piece of something was observed? No. Discovered in a very romantic spot. A great piece of something. A very romantic spot, which is probably, maybe the observatory is romantic? I'm not sure. Or the hedge maze could be romantic. I don't know. We'll see what it says. It probably tells us one of them is romantic. A great piece of, it's not cord, decor. A great piece of something decor. Decor. Well, gloves, dagger, hypoallergenic. Crystal ball might be decor. Okay, let's see what the crystal ball says. Something's going to say something about decor. Oh, on your mantelpiece decor. It was mantelpiece decor. Crystal dagger. Okay, crystal dagger was, let's look at the oil. I don't think that's going to be, yeah, okay. So the crystal dagger, mantelpiece decor, was discovered in a very romantic spot. Okay, so which spots are romantic? Nope. Nope. One of them's going to say something. Romantic is the observatory. Okay, the observatory is romantic. And the crystal dagger is the mantelpiece decor. So the crystal dagger was at the observatory. That's what that is telling us. And this is the observatory, the dagger. There we go. All right. That was a little tricky to do the anagrams on that one. Okay. The shortest suspect was lugging around a heavyweight weapon. The shortest suspect had a heavy weapon. Okay, so which one's the shortest? 5'11", 5'5", 7'8". Wow. So Officer Cooper is the shortest, but Babyface is very, very tall. So Officer Cooper had a heavy weapon. Nope, nope, nope. Crystal ball. Okay, so Officer Cooper had the crystal ball. Officer Cooper had the crystal ball. There we go. Very nice. Okay. Either a pair of leather gloves was in the Grand Chateau, which at this point is possible, or Principal Applegreen was on the miniature golf course, which at this point is also possible. By the way, we know the observatory has to be... Yeah, so these two have the crystal ball and the wand, which cannot be at the observatory. Therefore, they cannot be at the observatory. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, I think both of those are still possible. So I'm going to come back to that one. The tallest suspect was not in the Grand Chateau. Well, we know who the tallest suspect is. Babyface Blue was not in the Grand Chateau, which I believe is that one. Okay. So we can check that off. This fingerprint was found in the observatory. Okay. Oop. I need to figure out the fingerprint. And let's see. That is Principal Applegreen, it looks like. Okay. So Applegreen was in the observatory. This is Applegreen's this first one in the observatory. Very nice. And so then we know a few things. We know where Babyface was now. We also know up here, so Applegreen was on the miniature golf course. Well, Applegreen was not on the miniature golf course. Therefore, the other half of that statement has to be true. A pair of leather gloves was in the Grand Chateau. Leather gloves in the Grand Chateau. And since we know that Applegreen was in the observatory, Applegreen cannot have the gloves. And Babyface was at the Great Tower, so Babyface cannot have the gloves. Therefore, the gloves are Secretary Celadon. Okay, and so that means Secretary was there. All right. This process of elimination gives us all of this, and then we know that. And this one is there. There we go. That gives us, let's see, that one. So we can finish off the grid. Very nice. Okay, so we've got all the grid. We've got that. The murder took place high above the ground. So I'm guessing that's the tower, but let's see. We can't just assume things. You got to look at what it says. I mean, it says specifically built to drop things. The hedge maze would not be high above the miniature golf course. The Grand Chateau, I mean, theoretically could be fairly tall, but so could the observatory could be up on a hill or something, but I think the Great Tower, it's got to be the Great Tower, right? High above the ground, it's got to be the Great Tower, I think. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the Great Tower, which means it was Babyface with the hyperallergenic oil. Babyface Blue, hyperallergenic oil in the Great Tower. We're going to go for it. See if we're right. Hey, all right, very nice. Okay, so Babyface Blue protested their innocence. They could not withstand the breathtakingly logical arguments our deductive presented, and they admitted they were caught. We'll get you, Logico, they muttered. All right, so that concludes the case of the Sagittarius with the selenite wand. All right, very nice. Well, not too much trouble today. The anagramming was the hardest thing on today's puzzle. So anyways, let me know what you thought of this mystery and how you did solving it. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.